Welcome, everybody. I hit the record button at the wrong time.
Timing.
Welcome, everybody, to UFC 321 Breakdown. Andy and Jim from Winning in the Shadows going to break down every single fight. We'll tell you about our best bet. We only have one bet. That's all we need to profit this week. So let's get into it. If you guys could hit the like button, leave a comment. Tell us if you agree or disagree with any of our breakdowns. I think some dogs are barking this week, Jim. I got to be honest with you. I'm going to have an actually tough time with the Parlay Buster. But I will tell you, one fight that will not be making the Parlay Buster is this very first one. I'll let you go first. Break this one down for us. We both really, really like Amorim.
Yeah, I think the one worry about this is that the whole world likes Amorim. And when I say the one worry, that's the only worry, is that everybody likes Amorim. So we're either all right and we see the obvious and the writing on the wall in this fight, or we're dead wrong. I like what Amorim has done. I like what she's done all the way back from her debut. You know, she learned the lesson against Sam Hughes. Everybody does it against Sam Hughes. We love Sam. Big fans of Sam Hughes. And then from there, does what she's supposed to do. That's what I love about her, especially in women's MMA, is she knows the assignment. Do what I have to do on the feet, but get this to the ground. Get it to the ground where I'm at home, and down there, she can hang and beat anybody. I don't care what Demopoulos says about the glove grab and all that stuff. You know, she was getting run through. It does suck that the referee missed the glove grab. However, she was getting run through by Amorim in that spot. I didn't think that was going to change. So we go to her opponent, Mizuki. Can we get a little Mizuki on the screen, please? There she is. There she is. Haven't heard from her in 2 years. I'm sure it was injury related. Winning a close decision to Hannah Goldie when you were taken down by Hannah Goldie, not a good look leading into this fight. I just don't see where her danger lies. The person who's going to be able to beat Amorim is somebody who can keep it on the feet and has good striking. And that is not Mizuki. It's just not. She doesn't bring anything to the table as far as the threat. So I think this is Amorim, and I think there's a big-time shot, and the line's telling you that she gets this sub with the under 2.5 being juiced to the under.
Yeah, I mean, she's fought one time since 2020. I mean, and it was Hannah Goldie. So it is funny to just say, oh, yeah, she once fought Amanda Lemos, but that was after going to a split decision with Yanan Wu. It's like, what happened there? I echo all of those sentiments. I wouldn't play Amorim by money line. I would play Amorim by finish. Amorim has finished women way better than Mizuki, in my opinion. So I think it's a pretty easy call on that spot. All right, we got Maksum and Mitch Raposo. Here's what I don't understand. Mitch Raposo, we saw him on The Ultimate Fighter, and he lost. We saw him on Contender Series, and he lost. Then we see him in UFC, and he lost. Then we see him again in the UFC, and he lost. Who else gets this treatment where they keep getting fights? I don't understand this at all. But then I go to Maksum, and I say, technically this guy's lost 2 in a row, but great fight against Charles Johnson and a great fight against Olembekov. And I think this kills 2 birds with 1 stone for the UFC. They get Maksum back on the winning track, and they go, all right, get this Raposo guy out of here. I don't see where Raposo is at all competitive with Maksum. Maksum's kind of better everywhere. Raposo, you know how they keep the stats of, significant strikes? If they kept the stat of fake punch, where you lean forward like you're going to... Raposo would be the number 1 pick in fantasy. He feints so many punches that he doesn't throw. It's ridiculous. He has no game plan. I don't think he's that good. I don't care that he's lost by split decision in the last 2. To me, it doesn't mean that this fight's going to be remotely close. To Maksum all day, this is a clinic, in my opinion.
Yeah, I also think that he can submit Raposo. The wild thing is Raposo has these losses. I don't think any of these guys fight like Maksum. maybe to gear if he when he wants to.
Okay.
Maksum is just a fantastic wrestler who's fought a killer level of competition, and now he gets Mitch Raposo. This is a favor from the UFC in Abu Dhabi. You're going to hear me say that a lot tonight, is in Abu Dhabi. This is pretty set up, this card, on who they want to win and why these fights are booked. You know, send Mitch on an 18-hour flight, whatever it is, to get there, and throw him to this kid who's fought killers from there. So, yeah, it's going to be Maksum. And I also think Maksum lives for the sub. I think we could see 2 subs to start this night really quick.
We move on to Chris Barnett and Hamdi. It wouldn't be an Abu Dhabi card without our boy Hamdi Abdelwahab. This guy just keeps popping up in my life. I don't know why, but then you go, oh, yeah, because it's an Abu Dhabi card. I mean, this guy just lost to Muhammad Usman. We made a great live bet on that one. This guy's win is Jamal Pogues. He couldn't beat Dontel Mays without the help of steroids. I will repeat that. He couldn't beat Dontel Mays without the help of steroids. In steps Chris Barnett, who just lost a fight, mostly because he got hurt while he was being introduced. What in the holy hell do we do with this fight? What is the angle on this fight?
They have it lined perfectly. Even the totals, they have lined perfectly. This fight is going to come down to the first 3 minutes. All you're going to need to see of this fight is the first 3 minutes if it goes that long. If Hamdi gets a takedown and he cannot finish Chris Barnett in the first 3 minutes of the fight, he will not be able to get Barnett back down. And if he cannot get Barnett back down, dare I say, Barnett is 10 times the striker that he is on the feet.
100%.
Like, Hamdi striking is some of the worst that we've ever seen. The guy's got no head movement. He's got a brick for a head. What worries me about this fight is that we're in Abu Dhabi in the Athletic Commission. Are they going to really be on Hamdi for taking anything extra? And the answer is no. So odds are we're going to get the juiced up Hamdi. Wouldn't shock me one iota to see this guy come in and all of a sudden have a gas tank from hell, back knee, and be even stronger than he already is. If this fight gets on the feet for any extended period of time, Chris Barnett can win this fight. I will be rooting for Chris Barnett with all of my heart. He is one of the most likable, lovable guys in the industry. Nobody has a bad word to say about him. The guy is fighting to support his family. His wife passed away a couple of years ago. He's just fighting to support his kids. And I think the UFC knows that. That's why they keep him around. He's so lovable and so likable. So everyone's like, it's a setup fight for Hamdi. Who do you think the UFC wants to win this?
Well, the UFC wants Chris Barnett to win it. I mean,
that's what I think. I don't
Abu
think
Dhabi wants Hamdi to win it just so they can keep him around for the next card. But he'll be on the next Abu Dhabi card.
Yeah.
The heavyweight fight in Abu Dhabi. Of course they're going to keep on there.
Here's where I got to with a bet on this. They have it lined at 1.5. I believe juice to the over, right?
Yeah, minus 175 to the over.
And I think we're not really looking at the disparity in talent on the ground and on the feet. If Hamdi gets the side control on Chris Barnett's not getting up. He's just going to lay on him. And at that point, we know that Barnett's not here for a long time. He's here for a good time. Right? If Hamdi gasses and is on the feet with Barnett's going to throw the kitchen sink at him. He'll be able to do a lot more striking than Usman. He'll be able to do a lot more striking than Pogues. So I think you play this fight not to go. I mean, we're juiced to the over. That's the expectation, that we get over the 1.5. Right now, this fight not to go is minus 170. Do you go under 2.5? You probably get a better line on that. That's where I landed on this. I think this is a one guy goes home kind of fight. Neither of these guys should be in the UFC, so let's just bet on violence.
Yeah, I mean, it says a lot that over 1.5 is minus 170 and under 2.5 is minus 140.
Yeah.
So they're kind of telling you a story there that they don't expect Chris Barnett or Hamdi to last that long. If I see back knee, it's an auto bet on Hamdi money line. I don't care if it's minus 400.
We just saw it with Silva last week on the
Just
walkout.
saw it. Oh my God.
Just saw it.
That's true. Yeah, I like that play under 2.5. Yeah, Barnett better striking, Hamdi with the wrestling. Terrible fight.
Big fans of Chris Barnett, though. We all are. We want to see Hamdi go down.
He got hurt. You said you said we'll know in the first 3 minutes. Like we may know an introduction. We knew in introductions in the last one. Guy couldn't survive introductions. Mm-hmm. Amazing. Jose Delgado, Nathaniel Wood. All right, now we're getting to some quality fighters. What's your take on this one?
Nathaniel Wood's the guy this week that everybody just loves talking about the bad things that he does. But we're just glossing over all the good things that he does. I can't stand when people instantly go to, well, the guy gets dropped in every fight. You know what else he does? He doesn't get knocked out. And he survives it and gets through it. And guess what else he does, Andy?
He wins a lot.
He keeps on winning. So, yeah, he gets dropped. But the guy keeps winning. Jose Delgado, hell of a finisher, hell of a prospect. We like Delgado a lot. But this is undoubtedly the toughest test of his career. Hyder Emil's a good fighter. I don't think Hyder's nearly as well-rounded as Nathaniel Wood is. If Nathaniel Wood decides to wrestle, this could very much nullify Delgado's power early. Now, I don't know if he's going to carry it or not. This just seems like Nathaniel Wood gets hurt, he survives, and then we get ourselves to the scorecards, and it's like Wood won the end of round 2. They give him the round. He wins round 3 with the wrestling and holding. And Delgado gets caught a lesson. What I do like is that Delgado already has a loss on his record. He's not an undefeated fighter thinking he's invincible, so he will most certainly be going into this laser-focused, this being the toughest test of his career. I really want to see these guys face off because Nathaniel Wood is not very big for this division. I really wish he could cut down and make the lower division because he'd be amazing down there. So I want to see these guys face off and watch weigh-ins and decide from there. As of right now, no bet for me. I will lean the experience of Nathaniel Wood.
So it's funny you mentioned that one loss. What's different about that one loss than all of his other fights? It's the one that went the distance. Mm-hmm. To do what he did to Hyder Emil, to me, was unbelievably impressive. I mean, Hyder Emil was unconscious before he hit the ground. And this guy's 27. He's in his prime. And the power has just been really incredible. Like we watched him on Contender Series. Connor Matthews, whatever. But Hyder Emil, I liked Hyder Emil in that one and didn't even make it to 30 seconds. Mm-hmm. Nathaniel Wood's going to try and land leg kicks early. Delgado probably is firing back really, really hard. If he doesn't catch Nathaniel Wood and this gets to round 2, this is the live bet of the card if this gets to round 2. Delgado still has finishing power, but yeah, Wood will start to pull away. He'll get in close. He'll figure out the timing. Leg kicks will add up. It is the size that really worries me. Delgado's going to be bigger than him, and I just worry that Nathaniel Wood trying to get inside is going to catch him. Delgado's he's got scary power, especially for this weight class. This is some pretty incredible. Like, you go to heavyweights, you go, well, pretty much anybody can knock anybody out because they got power. Not everyone can knock everyone out. So, if you're playing Delgado, honestly, it's to win in rounds 1 or 2. And then I don't know what that price is, but then you take Nathaniel Wood to win by decision. Nathaniel Wood's not finishing anybody. Look at all these decisions. So Delgado to win in rounds 1 and 2 or Nathaniel Wood to win by decision. If I could get both of those at plus money, I think I'd take it to bring in a little profit. So.
That's interesting way of looking at it.
Yeah, interesting way. I will lean Delgado. And listen, the odds do tell us something. Like, normally when you have a guy that's this explosive with this much power, you're paying an extra, dollar for the excitement factor. So I was pretty surprised that this is only minus 150, minus 148 on DraftKings right now. Slight lean to Delgado, but live bet for sure.
They are both plus money, by the way.
Boom. Let's go. There's
170 and plus 225.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Sign me up. Sign me up for that. Love that one.
Great
All
call.
right, Walter Walker and Louis Sutherland, both guys have had recent fights canceled. So this is one thing we do love about UFC. Fight gets canceled, oh, we'll find you a fight. just wait. So Louis Sutherland, kind of a bummer for Louis Sutherland. He was going to get to knock out a Tafa. Now they give him a guy that's won a bunch of fights in a row with heel hook, slightly different game plan. And I actually think that's a real problem for Louis Sutherland in this one. What do you think?
This is another one that's juiced to the over 1.5, but it's juiced to the under 2.5.
Yeah.
So
You're not fooling
kinda
anybody.
Telling you a story, yeah. We have an angry, pissed off Walter Walker that is extremely mad at Usman. Extremely mad. By the way, shame on the UFC for saying Usman pulled out for an injury when he pulled out because he had horse steroids in his body.
Yes.
Elevated testosterone. How do you get busted? Who gets busted for elevated testosterone? They're all elevated. Every fighter has elevated. Like, how elevated does yours have to be to stand out in the crowd of cage fighters?
I listened to somebody answer this question about the NFL, and they were saying testing positive for illegal substance is the equivalent of getting a ticket for going 500 miles an hour on the interstate in a 70. Like you have to be so far over the limit to get flagged that it has to be like laughably, like just an incredible amount. So what did we say about Usman's last fight? We didn't like his gait. We did there was something weird about it. It was like, okay, now we know. Mm-hmm. Now we know. He's on the same shit they pump in the cows. Okay, I get it now.
Yeah, that's a shame that we're going to miss out on that money because I do believe that Walter Walker was going to take a leg home in that fight. So now we insert Louis Sutherland against Walker. Louis, I think, here's the thing. I went back and I watched Walker's submission over Kennedy. The takedown, there was no takedown. Okay, so you can't say that he wrestled. He rolled for the heel hook from a standing position. It worked. It's an extremely risky move that he is so good at. But if that doesn't work, and Kennedy ended up in his guard, that's the only thing keeping me off of this. Louis Sutherland is a big guy. He's a big, thick guy. He's another guy whose physique has changed in recent years.
Yeah,
just take a look at that picture and just realize that that's not going to be the same guy that steps in the ring. I'm going to roll with Walker. He has a chance to do something absolutely unheard of, which is extend his record on the heel hook. He's looked better. He shared a picture on Instagram. He is locked in training-wise. He looks fantastic. Props to him for making his debut, failing, and saying, I need to reinvent this. I need to get my shit together to be a professional. And Louis just dipping his toe in. I think Sutherland can make some noise in this division, but this is a really tough task to ask for again. This is another one that I'll play not to go. If Walker can't get this takedown, we have no idea what that cardio is going to do. We have no idea how bad his striking is going to get. And Louis is not a massive finisher by any means, but we could see a real gassed-out Walter Walker stuck on the feet for 2 rounds in this fight. So give me this one not to go. Parlay that baby up.
Yeah, I like the under 2. It's a sprinkle on Louis Sutherland for me in this one.
Okay.
Submitting Junior Tafa does not impress me at all. Submitting Dontel Mays does not impress me at all. And you're right. This is what you and I talked about. Walker he's going to go for this move, and it's not going to work, and all of a sudden he's going to get walloped in the face because he's in a very vulnerable position because he doesn't get it. This is now 3 in a row, and Kennedy was a complete idiot for not realizing that this was coming.
Shocker.
That's what I mean. Like horrible fight IQ. How did you not know he was going to go for the heel hook? He went for it early. This wasn't like, out of nowhere. Here's the other thing. If he doesn't get it early and then they get sweaty, I don't think this is in play for them. I think Louis Sutherland is pretty slow. He's plodding. I got real questions about Walter Walker. This guy went to distance against Lucas Brzezski and lost. Then he got 3 wins in the first round. What happens if these go to the second round or
we still
possibly
don't know.
the third round? We don't know. We don't know. This is barely 5-6 minutes worth of cage time in his next 3 fights. If I'm Sutherland, I do something to where I'm really sweaty when that fight starts. I don't know what it is, but
I
do
can
so,
think of a few things.
get those ankles lubed up, buddy.
We've seen a few things, man.
Yeah.
Get that lotion on the night before.
Lotion
Make sure
on
you
the
don't
night.
take a
Yeah,
shower,
what was it?
Yeah.
Anderson Silva bathed in baby oil. Was that the rumors? Yeah. I think Sutherland's a springboard. Everyone is so obsessed with the heel hooks that they're forgetting who he did it against, how quick he did it with, and what happens when it doesn't work. He's laying on the ground while somebody's standing over him, and he's been there, done that. It's 13 fights, not against great competition, but I'm not sold on Walker on this one. It's fun, it's cool, he's going to try it. You know he's going to try it. If he doesn't get it, watch out. But you're right, under is great. Walker's going to submit and we'll probably get knocked out. So I think this is a dog or pass situation for me. I'm not buying into the Walker hype. So, all right, old friend Selwady against Mateus. Camilo, interested in your take on this one. I cashed a pretty big ticket on Selwady when you and I went head to head. So, what's your take on Selwady these days?
So when we first talked about this fight, I looked up the wrong Selwady.
Oh, did you really?
I was thinking of a totally different guy. I was thinking of our PFL Selwady, who's been knocked out in 3 or 4, right?
Oh.
Our guy we were betting against? Yeah.
No.
So I was like, really? You like Selwady? And you go, I think he gets it done on the ground. I'm like, this guy doesn't grapple. What?
You did have a very weird reaction. I was like, we must have been watching different film, and we were, it turns out.
We were watching very different film. I was watching a 40-year-old fighter get tuned up on the feet. And you were watching a guy winning UFC fights. So he gets the loss to Loic here. Ugly fight. That was an ugly, messy fight. Look who they booked him against. This is interesting to me. Garam, Jordan Levitt, and Oki. So let's ask ourselves, were they setting Selwady up to win or up to lose?
It's tough because Guram, boy, what did talk about guy that threw me off the scent. I thought Guram was going to be a fantastic one. He's been dog shit. Jordan Levitt, they probably want Selwady, but maybe they like Jordan Levitt.
I think
and
that's
Oki's
the best
just a
matchup
disappointment
of the 3.
Okay, all
like
right.
Oki, were they trying to get Oki a win, or are they buying in on Selwady? I'm really curious about how the UFC feels about this guy. I really don't have a hot take as far as his skill set goes. I think he's a decent fighter, but we haven't seen him against legitimate competition enough to know where we're going to go with this. And then we go over to Camilo here. Losing to Gabe Green in 2025, he is a veteran, but Gabe Green don't really finish anybody, man. Anybody. That's a horrible look. Horrible look. That's his one fight in the UFC. Before that, he's fighting in these no-name promotions, this low-level guys. I believe it's Selwady. I don't have an opinion on the method. The fact that we're in Abu Dhabi, this smells to me like they want to get him a win. Anybody who gets finished by Gabe Green has to have their head on the chopping block. That's just the way it is. So I'll go with Selwady. I'm going to side over to you now that I looked at the correct fighter. I know you have a better opinion for me than this, so go right ahead.
Yeah, so he gets the rear naked choke, and you honestly have to go back to 2018 in his days where he was fighting 3-0 guys. To me, that tells you a lot about when Gabe Green submits you, you're probably not that, high level. So that was a terrible look for, Camilo. And, yeah, where'd they get this guy from? He wasn't like he came from Contender Series. It wasn't like he was this prospect that they had to have. And I think this sets up nice for Selwady here. If you would just look at this, you go, he got knocked out in round 3. He probably got tired, No. He was winning in round 2, and then Loic was getting tired and landed a big-time shot. If he doesn't land that big shot, he loses that fight. Like Loic loses and El Selwady wins. I go back to this Contender Series. He was a huge underdog to Hardwick. You liked Hardwick. I liked El Selwady. He pulled the upset. So I watched him win against a big-time prospect that UFC really wanted. And then I watched him was winning his UFC debut. And yeah, Guram, Levitt, and Oki, Camilo's not good as any of these guys. And El Selwady, when he was beating Loic, he was on the ground wrestling in round 2. He was holding him down. I watched. It wasn't like Gabe Green snatched up a random submission. He held him down on the ground, got his back, and all that. I think it's Selwady by finish. To be honest with you, I think this Camilo guy is not very good. So, but you don't even really need to do that. For reasons unbeknownst to me, he's somewhat the underdog. Al Selwady is minus 102, and this Camilo guy is minus 118. Doesn't make any sense to me. Al Selwady is the pick. So that's where I stand on this one. All right, we're going to get to what could be the most violent fight of the night. But real quick, guys, we got a few things that are up. And honestly, we're talking UFC, but you want to tell us you want me to tell you guys what we're running really good in? It's NFL. NFL props have been really, really good this year. We're hitting over 55% of them. It's a great number for NFL. And we're coming off a 6-4 week. Our primetime games have been lights out. I don't know why. I can't explain it, why we're 9-1 in primetime games. But get our NFL props and you get everything. You get Thursday Night Football, all of Sunday, all of Monday, every single prop that we have. Last week we had 10. At the time of recording this, we've got 7 up for this week. So anything that we add, you're going to get there. Just 63% winners over the last month in NFL. It's hard to do. What I love about our props is we have not had the disaster week that's just like, you go 0 for 5 or, something like that. We've been very steady and very consistent chipping away units. So we just put it one price. You're going to get every single prop that we have. So we absolutely love that. And then we got our UFC 321. We just got one bet that's up. We're just going to try and go 1-0 on this card. There's a lot of weird things that can happen in this area of the country. So we just got one. It's the only play that I've bet at this point. So, but I'll be doing a live show. Jim is not going to be with us. Jim will be taking care of his wife who just had knee surgery, watching over son. I will be live if Jim can pop on. Maybe he will, probably not, but I will be live. So you want live bets? We'll be doing on Saturday. I believe it's 10 a.m. start time. It's kind of fun. I think we like those.
You're just going to leave my screen up, and then I'm just going to come flying in like live betting Aspinall right now.
Yeah. Yep. Live bet Sutherland, Walker's fading. Dip out.
You back me. Live bet.
Yep. Back me alert. Bet. All right. Well, let's move on to Rebecki and Ludovic Klein. I'm going to go first on this one.
Go right ahead.
I think there's a chance that Rebecki has absorbed career and possibly life-altering damage in his last 3 fights. We were big on him. He comes in, he beats, he wins easily on Contender Series, and you're going, oh my God, sky's the limit. Beats Nick Fiore, okay, whatever. Finishes Loic, and you're going, all right, really good. Roosevelt Roberts, armbar. Rebecki to the moon. And I believe his name is pronounced Rozbecki. Every announcer pronounces it different. So if you want to give me shit for how his name is pronounced, fine. I'm going phonetically. Rebecki. This Diego Ferreira fight said a lot. It goes way too hard, way too early. Ferreira weathers a storm, and all of a sudden Rebecki is a bloodied, bruised, absolute mess, and he gets knocked out. Comes back against Oralby, and you go, okay, he's learned his lesson. Surely he's not going to go too hard. He goes even harder. And guess what? They're both bloodied and bruised, even worse than he was in the Ferreira fight. And he wins the split. And that side by side, if you want to laugh out loud moment, just look at them side by side when they're announcing the winner. You're like, we're supposed to pick a winner from these guys? My God. So then he fights Duncan in August, and he does it again. He just absorbs too many punches.
It's gotten progressively worse.
Every single fight is getting worse. He's blocking fewer punches. His head is moving like something has happened, and I don't know what it. I don't know if the Diego Ferreira fight changed him, but Jim, if one judge goes the one different round, he's on a 3-fight losing streak, and we're going, this guy's done. I'm ignoring this win. This guy absorbs way too much punishment, and honestly, he hasn't really been giving a ton out. I mean, he beat up Oralby, but it's Oralby. He does the same shit Rebecki does, which is blocks punches with the front of his face. And Ludovic Klein, listen, Ludovic cost us a lot of money when he flexed out against Bahamondes, but give him credit. Does what he does, or does what he's supposed to do against Cunningham. Beats Thiago Moises. That's a good win. Beats Roosevelt Roberts. Hey, listen, he gave it a hell of an effort against Gamrot. He was game in that one. A brutal spot. I think Klein does the same thing that everyone else may be able to do, which is beat Rebecki within an inch of his life. It's Klein. What's crazy is how Rebecki's like almost too tough. Mm-hmm. Like it's like he doesn't get knocked out, so he just keeps absorbing more and more shots. I can't pick by finish, but to me it's Ludovic Klein. I really think Rebecki's career and life is possibly altered at this point. I kind of worry for him.
What more can I add? Well, I'm gonna
Okay.
make your case even stronger. After the Chris Duncan fight, we caught a clip of Rebecki and Duncan at the hospital together. And Rebecki said something very damning, and this makes me not be able to bet on him ever again. We did an exciting fight. That's what I'm here for, exciting fights.
Oh, that's right. The exciting fight theory. Yes, yes, yes.
He's enjoying making the money of Fight of the Night. He's enjoying the notoriety. I don't believe this guy is serious about trying to be a champion. And how could you be when you've already had 23 fights, amass the damage that you have? He's no spring chicken either. I think he's trying to get his money and get out at some point when the sport either kicks him out or he says that he's done. You see with the damage getting progressively worse, it's not cuts. Cuts you deal with. Cuts you can deal with. If it's not in your eye, above your eye, like cuts over here, is what it is. These guys are fighters. The problem is the swelling. The swelling has been the issue with him. So now the second that he gets touched anywhere on his orbital, those eyes swell shut, man. I mean, he couldn't. I don't know how he was seen in the Duncan fight. I don't know how they let it go. It looked like a murder scene. Where Ludovic Klein has struggled is with guys that are going to wrestle and not push forward. I think Klein is the better striker. I think he's the more technical striker. I think Klein can mix the wrestling in.
Oh,
he's
yeah,
getting
absolutely
pressured
can.
by Rebecki. And I believe this is the first time that Klein is going to have a height advantage. And can we go back to Klein's fights?
Sure.
I mean, Rebecki's only 5'6".
Yeah, he's
First
just
of all,
short and so hittable.
So he fought Gamrot. I believe they were about the same size, right? Roosevelt Roberts, huge. Moises was about the same size. Bahamondes bigger. So he's going to have a height advantage in this. I am so excited to see Klein in this fight because we're going to learn a lot about him. I do believe it's Klein. Yeah, I don't know about the knockout yet. Rebecki's just so damn tough, but we could see a doctor stoppage situation soon for Rebecki because the amount of damage that he's taking, it's just it's undeniable that it's going to get worse and worse and worse and worse. Nick Diaz came out the other week. They asked him about BKFC, and he goes, "I could never do it."
Yeah.
They're like, "What do you mean, Nate?" He goes, "I got too much scar tissue." He goes, "I'd be busted open on the first shot." Done.
Yeah,
Rebecki's
he's
in the same boat.
100% right. Yeah. All right. Well, we both like Klein, and honestly, I'm pretty surprised that the number's only minus 142. I would have Klein as like a minus 250 in this one. I see no world where I'm betting Rebecki anytime soon. Move on to Aliskerov and our boy, Iron Turtle, Junior Park. What do you think about this fight?
I think this is a pretty standard breakdown. First of all, everybody loves Park. We love Park. Great fighter. Always fun to watch when he's not fighting somebody who wants to be boring. So that's always good. Luckily with Ikram, Ikram's not going to be boring.
No, he's not.
No, Park, tough as hell. I wouldn't say he's great at anything, but he's just good. He's just there. He's just good at everything. Now, Ikram, the take on this fight is that he doesn't finish Park in round 1. He's done. I don't know if I believe that. I know that we haven't seen this from him, but he's from a camp in a part of the world where I don't think they go off half-cocked in their training. Like, he's at least got 2 good ones in him, 2 good rounds. The third might be sketchy. It usually is against Park. But then at that point, how beat up is Park going to be? Park still gets hit a lot. And we've seen that Ikram has that nuclear power. I understand everybody wanting to take Park. He's live. I'm going to pick Ikram. I think he's going to have the bigger shots. I do believe this fight will go the distance, and I think it's going to be a close decision. We'll see what the numbers are, but like this fight to be a split, that's interesting because Park always makes these things tough. So I'm going to go with Ikram by decision.
This guy got knocked out by a Khamzat Chimaev uppercut.
Did you see the uppercut? You saw the uppercut.
Yeah, I saw the uppercut.
That was one hell of an uppercut.
Great uppercut. Maybe he was on the stuff that he's on now. So, what's interesting is, we go back to this Diego Gonzalez knocks him out, but then he's winning by Kimura over Dennis Lulin. Kimura, decision, Kimura. And we don't see this supposed amazing power. And I say supposed like an asshole there. He does have power, but okay. Phil Hawes, can I say not the most durable guy in the world? Warley, what's Warley up to these days? Oh, that's right, losing to Abas and Dalby and Jeremiah Wells. Like, I don't know. How impressive is that? Gets nuked by Robert Whittaker and then knocks out Andre Muniz? Well, Edmund Shabazian did that. Do we talk about Shabazian like we do, Ikram? No. I don't know. Everyone's pencil. I don't say everyone. I don't listen to a whole lot of takes on this. I just know Ikram is a big favorite, and our boy Park, what he did against Nardiev, where he took that absolutely disgusting low blow and comes back and beats Nardiev in the 3rd round, like even though he's completely compromised. By the way, what's going on with this making guys fight when they're completely compromised from illegal shots? I don't know. I didn't think this was a split decision by Tavares. I thought Park won that pretty easily. In this Muniz fight, Muniz won a controversial split decision when he landed, 2 punches or 3 punches?
Yeah, that was the one that was really, really
It's terrible.
Bad.
Yeah, Park just has to... I'm in agreement with, if you say the masses, I'm in agreement that Park got to mind his P's and Q's. I'm telling you, Aliskerov he's breathing a little heavy there at the last part of the first round against Muniz. There was a little huffing and puffing, and let's just say Muniz doesn't strike me as a guy to push a pace on the feet to get a guy tired. I think Park could be really annoying in the first round, clinch, make him move, stay out of the way, and I can't quite. Now, if he nukes Park, okay, I'm sold. But knocking out Muniz, Warley, Phil Hawes, that's what we're going to anoint this guy the next big knockout guy. He couldn't get it done against Whittaker. So for me, it's a Park. I'll go Park, and I guess I've just made a lot of money on Park. He just keeps cashing.
Yeah.
He keeps cashing tickets for me. So, anytime I see the plus money by Park, I'm like, I'm just kind of in on him. So, all right, Nazareth, Haqparast, and Quillen, Salkilld. Salkilld, we got to know on Contender Series, and give him credit. He's made the most of his UFC contract. Absolutely nukes Jubilee. And what did we say on that fight? We were like, damn, I wish I would have seen more of him, even though it's Jubilee. We're like, we want to see more of him. Well, we did. Saw him against, Ashmoose, and he put on a really good performance. I think this guy is kind of what we thought he was going to be when he came out of Contender Series. He beats this Gage Young, who everyone was really high on him. We said, be careful, this Salkilld, he comes from Eternal MMA. That's a big-time promotion. They have experience. They have really good training. I don't know, man. A toss-up to me, the books are telling us a really big story on this one, because I would have thought the books would have had Haqparast as a massive favorite in this one. And it's not. I think the narrative is the Salkilld guy's for real. I think he's for real, too. He's my pick. What do you think?
I've thought Haqparast from the start, and I have changed my tune. I am on Salkilld as well. Here's the reason why. This guy can go for 3 rounds hard. He's proved it. Not just like going hard in the fight, like the volume of takedowns, the volume of strikes, the activity. It's not just empty forward pressure. He's doing things constantly, and that's been the downfall of Haqparast. Has been when people can do that. Really well-rounded skill set for Salkilld. That's a tongue twister.
Does he sell seashells as well?
By Australia. You see anybody from Hex or Eternal MMA coming out of Australia, they're a bet on, man. These guys are good. They're good. I went looking down the record of Haqparast, and I feel like he was the guy that we kind of penciled into fade. And then he goes on this run. Okay, John Makdessi was an older, retiring John Makdessi. He didn't retire in that fight, but he was on his way out. Landon Quinones never did anything special. Whatever. Jamie Malarkey, we know what Jamie Malarkey is. And Jamie Malarkey found a way to give him a knockout. That was his first finish in how many fights? Scroll down, please.
Yeah, it was a while. I mean, you got to go back to
2019,
2019, Joaquim Silva. Right? And even then, you got to go back to Superior FC in 2017.
Yeah, that was the Malarkey just walking into strikes. Bad look. Jared Gordon by decision. Was this the one that everybody was like, oh, wait, Jared Gordon won that fight? There was a lot of people that were on Gordon.
Wasn't it the Patty pinball?
But I think it was this one as well. That was the whole misnomer. It's like, man, Jared Gordon just can't catch a break.
Oh, that's right.
Right? Just can't catch a break.
That's right, Pat. Yeah,
you're done as soon as you go to decision. So I'm not super impressed by this run of Haqparast. He wins the split against Rebecki. Okay.
He was cut. He was taking punches.
I don't know. That's one of those fights where, like, however you had it scored going into the third didn't matter. You know, like, it just, ugh. So I'm on Salkilld. I think this kid's the real deal. Is a step up for him, but I believe strength of schedule-wise, this is also a bit of a step up for Haqparast in this spot. I don't think he's fought anybody as well-rounded as this kid with the cardio that he has. So it's probably going to be ugly in the first round. It's going to be Salkilld chasing him down and Haqparast staying on the outside. And you're probably going to be able to get a fantastic live number if it looks like Quillen's not overwhelmed in the moment. I think in round 2 and round 3 he takes over. We've seen Haqparast tired in 3 in every single one of his fights that go the distance. Win, lose, or draw. He is tired in round 3. So give me the Aussie. I'm with you.
Yeah, I think Quillen can wrestle him. Maybe not take him down and hold him there, but he can keep doing it. He can tire him out and make him work. And what's fun, I don't know if it's the mustache or whatever, but you would look at Salkilld and be like, what is this guy, 35? No, he's 25. Yeah. So we'll move on to Rakic and Murzakanov. Murzakanov just, I mean, his career has been, he just shows up kind of whenever and not nukes a guy, and then you just don't hear from him. Mm-hmm. I mean, he 2022 knocks a couple guys out, then you got to go back to 2021, knocks a guy out. 2019 knocks a guy out. Does go to decision, but then 2017 knocks a guy out. Then you go back to 2016, knocks a guy out. Like, it's just like every once in a while, it goes the distance against Jacoby, knocks a guy out. This is interesting that he fought in June and now he's fighting in October. Uncharted territory here for the 36-year-old. Maybe it's like, he's 36. We better pick up the pace here, pal. Like, you can't be waiting a year anymore. He's a big favorite. What's your take on Murzakanov and Rakic?
Let's start with Rakic.
Okay.
We start with Rakic. Man, he's the guy that just never became what everybody wanted him to be and pegged him to be. His wins. Thiago Santos. Known steroid abuser. No kneecaps left. We've seen it over and over again since he's left UFC. He's just not the same. Anthony Smith. At that point, Smith had, 32? Smith had 47 fights already.
Still a much better version of Anthony Smith than now.
It was better than the recent version, but it's a decision. That was also, keep in mind, that was Anthony Smith's post-home invasion fight, where he was just out of it. Absolutely out of it. Then we have Jimmy Manuwa, knocked out. Devin Clark. Justin Ledet.
I seriously don't even remember a couple of these guys. I don't know. I don't remember him at all. Yeah.
I can't place him. The guy has not had the best level of competition. Anytime he has stepped up, even to the likes of Volkan Ozdemir, he has lost. So what does Rakic do great? He's got good leg kicks. Correct. Murzakonov's a southpaw. The outside calf kick is not going to be there for him. They're going to have to switch stances to throw it. To me, that's his best weapon. Let's go to Murzakanov. Again, mercenary. Shows up. Fights when he wants to fight.
Mercenary.
Knocks people out and gets paid.
It is funny that his nickname is the professional.
Yes.
Like, just a professional hitman just shows up. Look,
you're 15-0. You've been cashing checks. It's kind of a great professional career.
Nice life.
He could retire right now and be a legend. So Murzakanov trains in New Jersey. So you're saying about, he just fought in June and now he's fighting again. So the canceled fight against Krylov and then Johnny Walker was when he was dealing with an injury. So he was trying to fight more. He relocated to New Jersey. He's fighting out of a local gym. I'm not going to say what gym. And he's been really pushing to fight and be more active, being in New Jersey, being in the States. Guy's an absolute murderer. From what I've heard in the gym, the guy is just a beast. He hits so damn hard. Everybody's got to take a break from holding pads with him. He's just a monster. So he gets this fight against Ribeiro. He gets the win. And I think this is what the plan was in 2024, where it got derailed from injury, is I want to fight a little bit more. So they booked this fight against Rakic. Here's the big problem. Rakic is going to be way bigger, and I think that hurts him. Rakic's striking defense going backwards is some of the worst in this division, if not in the UFC. There is absolutely no head movement, and he stands straight up in the air. Murzakanov throws hooks, but he doesn't throw ugly hooks. He throws really, really nice overhand rights that are accurate. So if you're going to give me somebody who's used to fighting bigger fighters, has that nuclear weapon in his right hand, and he's fighting a guy who's been finished against power punchers and has tall man defense, I'm going with Murzakanov. I think Murzakanov gets this knockout. I am just so out on Alexander Rakic. I would love to see Murzakanov get to 16-0 and get him a little bit more active. I mean, it's now or never. You're ranked number 14.
Yeah, that's true.
It's now or never. You got to go.
I think Rakic knocks him out. I got Rakic by knockout.
I love this head-to-head. I'm so happy we're head-to-head.
Yeah,
this is going to be fun.
What's crazy is under 2.5 is only minus 115. We can both be right on this and cash a really nice ticket. Here's my take. I think this height and reach is going to be too much for Murzakanov. This is a massive height and reach. So he lists at 5'10". I don't even believe that. Like 5'10", he's been really, really short. 6'4". This is huge, and I know you talked about the southpaw. I think Rakic is still going to land inside leg kicks. He's still going to work it out. And here's the thing with Murzakanov. Little huffy and puffy right before he finished Brinson Ribeiro. Little huffing. You can get inside Brinson Ribeiro. You can get inside to strike with him. Rakic just went the distance against Ankalaev. Didn't get the finish, lost. But he showed he's got the cardio. He shows he's got the movement. He gets a great big ground and pound against Yuri. But these are guys his size. These are guys that look him eye to eye. He's going to be looking literally down on Murzakanov. I think Murzakanov gets knocked out because he gets tired, having to work so hard to lunge in, and he better get this knockout in the first. I'm not even saying the first round. He better get the knockout in the first 3 minutes. He has to work really, really hard to get inside there. And, knocking out Brendan Ribeiro, a lot easier than knocking out Rakic. Knocking out Alonzo Menifield, a lot harder, or a lot easier than knocking out Rakic. Then you're going back to, he beats Jacoby. He did go the distance with Jacoby. I thought Jacoby pissed that fight away. That should have been Jacoby winning that one. Yeah, this is a big upset for me. I think Rakic wins, and I think Rakic wins by knockout because I think Murzakanov gets too tired. So, listening to you and I talk, I think we like the under, and we're getting really, really good. I can't imagine taking an over on a Murzakanov fight.
No, it's kind of now or never for both guys. Listening to you.
Oh, it's 100% now or.
There's a stench of desperation in this fight, if that makes sense.
Not stench. The guy's lost 3 in a row.
Yeah, it's got to be now or never. Like, if you're going to be anything, this is the moment for both guys. Yeah.
Interesting fight. That'll be a fun head-to-head. We both like the other guy by knockout. Mm-hmm. We move on to Alexander Volkov, Jailton Almeida. I don't know if you saw. Have you seen this thing on Twitter about Cormier talking to Tom Aspinall, and he was saying you're going to dominate, and he's like, yeah, you're going to be jailed in Almeida. He can't fight. I don't know if it was completely staged. They were
Dana's rolling over in his grave thinking that he's going to have to hype a fight when DC says it's going to be one-way traffic. God, DC.
I know. That's the thing, is it was like a hidden mic, and I'm like, I don't know if I buy the hidden mic thing anymore. This sounds like an inside joke that they're all in on. Hey, Jailton, is it okay if we say you can't fight? Haha, yeah, it'd be hilarious. All right, so Volkov and Jailton Almeida. What's the line at the side? Jailton Almeida minus 192. Volkov plus 160. Coming to you first. What's your breakdown?
Volkov gets taken down way too easy. That has not changed. All the different versions of Alexander Volkov that we have seen throughout his career, and we've seen a bunch of them. Different body types, different haircuts. It's like, he's like the master of disguise. The one thing he can't disguise is that his takedown defense is just bad. Now, he's improved the wrestling part of it, the grappling part of it, but I don't think it's going to be enough against Almeida. My problem with Almeida is this is a big guy. This is a long guy. Jailton has not faced this body type yet. If you look down who he's fought, right? It's like he's fought the tubby heavyweight.
I would say there's a lot of pudgy there's a lot of pudgy guys on here.
A lot of poor balance there. Not that Volkov has the best, but boy, you watch this fight live, and if Jailton gets that double leg and you see Volkov do that tall man deep where he just wiggles down, all of a sudden Almeida's double leg is up here because the guy's waist is up here. This could get really ugly for Jailton on the feet. But I can't ignore the tea leaves that when I see a photo of Jailton Almeida and Alexander Volkov, before we're even at the presser, giving each other hugs and taking pictures, this fight absolutely screams over or decision. I know it's crazy. We've seen Volkov go to decision lately. We also saw Almeida go to decision with Derek Lewis. So I don't want to hear that it can't happen, because we all, myself included, thought there was no way that Derek Lewis fight was going the distance. But here we are. So it can happen. Anytime I see fighters chummy before face-offs, a big spot where the winner gets the title shot, it's going to be a sparring session. It just seems to me that it's going to be a 3-round sparring session where you're probably going to have Almeida up 2 rounds going into 3, and then Volkov's going to pour it on in the 3rd, and we're just going to go to decision. It's going to be sweaty. It's going to be gross, but this is the fight to me that underwhelms on this pay-per-view. It's the second fight of the main card going on right after 2 guys are going to go in there and punch each other in the face till one falls down. This could be a snooze fest. I am going to take fight goes the distance. That's going to be my pick. If I have to pick a winner, I'm going to say Almeida banks 2 rounds and beats Volkov by split decision.
You don't even have to take fight because of distance. You can grab over 1.5 at -130. Everybody thinks this fight's going under. I'm with you on this. And by the way, we do have some precedents. How did Jailton Almeida lose when he wouldn't let go of the double
Who's
leg
taller?
against Blades? And
Who's
Blades
taller?
stuffed him, and Jailton wouldn't give up, and then
Great point.
he got his head mashed in. And so then, yeah, who does he finish? Okay, Romanov and Spivak. I mean, Romanov, everyone's finishing Romanov. And, Spivak was just a nightmare matchup for Spivak. But, yeah, I think Volkov is live here. I wouldn't rush to put Jailton Almeida on my betting ticket here. This guy technically lost to Gane. I thought he beat him.
He didn't lose to Gane.
This is 2 fights where Volkov showed I have incredible range and I can keep you at distance. He was the first one to really figure it out against Pavlovich. Remember, that was everyone's, Pavlovich by knockout. And then 3 minutes into the fight, you're like, Volkov has this figured out. He's going to piece him apart. Volkov knows how to keep the distance, man. He knows how to stay out of trouble. Who's he lost to? Aspinall. Okay, no shame in that. He lost to Gane in that first one. But you're right about we've seen so many different versions of Volkov. I thought the same thing with the laughing and joking. I was like, what is that all about? What we haven't seen from Almeida yet, which I think we're due for? What have we seen a lot of? What does Jailton do? Get guys down, wrestle?
Don't tell me you're thinking he's going to strike.
What if this is Jailton wants to show off his chops in the striking department? What if it's, hey, Jailton, let's show the world how good of a striker you are. I can see it happening. I could absolutely see this happening. We've lost money on a lot of guys who decided to show off how good of a striker there are. This is the Carl Williams effect. And it never goes well, by the way. It never. No. I have never once seen a wrestler try and show off their striking and have it work off well. I'm talking to you, Bo Nickel. Look who he's done it against. Romanov, Spivak. Now he gets a chance to go in there against Volkov, who's way taller than him. If Volkov can somehow make the first few takedowns difficult, I think we see a striking match. I think Volkov is live, but I love your take on the over. I absolutely love your take on the over, and I just do not be surprised if this is the Jailton Almeida tries to show off his striking. So,
there's a lot riding on this fight. I do expect both guys to be quite cautious.
Yeah, it's a good point. Yeah, neither wants to get knocked out, neither wants to get submitted, because then you drop pretty good in the rankings off of this one. So, all right, big favorite, Umar Nurmagomedov against Mario Bautista. What do you think?
Why is Umar ranked 3rd?
Yeah, right.
Shouldn't he be 2nd? He's the closest one to beating Merab in how many years?
He actually banked rounds.
Yes.
He actually
winning the fight at the start of round 3. By the way, shout out Merab for the best live bet of the century.
My God.
Sub -200 bet on Merab. And we're about to go into the championship rounds.
It was beautiful.
Oh, he just keeps printing money. So this is one of my favorite angles here, and this is the 1 or 2 ranked fighter fighting a guy that's not in the top 5. There's a big drop in competition level from 1 and 2 to after 5. Usually those top 4 guys have all fought each other very closely, and have fought each other multiple times. And they're pretty much the consensus cream of the crop. Mario Bautista got to this ranking by doing what he had to do to win fights, but not exactly doing them impressively. We could take this patchy mix win and throw that shit right out the window.
Hasn't aged very good. In the moment, it looked good, but
in the moment, it looked like, oh, well, he's so smart. No, Patchy's just done. He could be absolutely done. Before that, his win was against a almost retiring Jose Aldo in a split, in a fight where he did nothing. And what was he able to do in that fight? Hold him against the cage. The Ricky Simone fight. Do you remember that fight?
I do. Yeah.
And what did we notice about Ricky Simone?
It wasn't 100%.
He was in 30%.
Okay. All right.
Dude had the heaviest ankle wrap I've ever seen in a UFC fight.
It was hilarious.
And
yeah.
he's a wrestler who didn't shoot takedowns. What do you think was wrong with him? Yeah, not the best. And then you're going to Blackshear, legitimate win, but Blackshear's not exactly lighting the world on fire. Good fighter, but not a title challenger. So this is a massive step up. I do believe that Bautista is good enough to last 3 rounds. He's tough. He's smart. That Mexican tough, again, it's just these guys are just tough. And Umar is the better striker. He's the better wrestler. And one thing Umar will not let Mario Bautista do is hold him up against the cage for 3 rounds in Abu Dhabi. This is on home soil for the Nurmagomedovs. This is get a W. And again, what does the UFC want? It's Umar versus Merab 2. They can book the shit out of that fight.
True.
Talking,
Okay.
What?
I get where you're going.
What Merab wants to, he's fighting in what, November? Right? He's
Yeah,
fighting
Merab
before the end
will
of the
fight
year.
tomorrow.
Yeah, well, he's got the one fight booked to the end of the year to set the record, right?
Yeah.
So we're probably going to be looking at these two early next year for the title on a big card. This is a just hand-picked booking. I expect Umar to easily win by decision.
Umar by decision is -165, and I just am over the moon. Absolutely over the moon for that one. And yeah, it's what you said. Like, okay, so Umar goes decision against Rob, goes decision against Sandhagen, goes decision against Almeida, which, by the way, that wasn't a great look for Umar. A guy that, like, fought him in a way back when another division comes in and takes you to decision. But he's not really a finisher unless you're fighting old and not on steroids Barcelos. Brian Keller, who's gone. Morozov, who's gone. When he fights really good fighters that are active, he doesn't get to finish. And honestly, wasn't even close to finishing Merab or Sandhagen or Almacan. Like, when I say not even close, didn't have him rocked, didn't have him, like, in submissions. I was like, oh, no, he almost got him. So Bautista can survive that. But you're right, man. Patchy, it's a terrible look in the moment. Credit to Bautista. He did what he was supposed to do, which is show up in insanely good shape, stick and move, show off his speed, good volume. But yeah, Aldo held him up against the fence. Yeah, it looked great on Tapology because it's a win. But my God, he was just being booed out of the building and didn't do anything. He really didn't do much against Simone and couldn't finish Blackshear. So who is he knocking out? Guido Canetti. Remember who Benito Lopez was? Remember the realtor?
I do.
The
Can we
realtor.
get him a fight again? Please?
Yeah, and again, Brian Keller. So what do these guys have in common? They finished the lower level competition. Once you step up, it's just bank points. Just bank points. Umar's not losing to Mario Bautista. I just don't see it. It would have to be something flash, some kind of out of nowhere, thing. But what do we know about guys like Umar? They get a loss, and it's like they come back better than ever. Like, these aren't guys that sit around and sulk. These are guys that be like, how did I lose that? Why did I lose that? How can I get better? So Umar, by decision at -165, I'm stunned this is less than -200. I don't see a finish from either guy. So, all right, moving on to the main event and the co-main. At the end, we're going to do Parlay Buster and Woulda, Coulda, Shoulda. All right, Verna Jandiroba, Mackenzie Dern, our good friend, Mr. Bubbles. This is his plant, his flag. He has been screaming that this is Jandiroba all day. He has called this shot for months, literally months. And I shout out to him. He's taken a very aggressive stand on it. I respect it. I love it. Do we agree, Jim?
I got to warm up for this one. We talked earlier today. You know what I got loaded in the chamber for this fight.
Okay.
I believe Verna is the better fighter. I believe Verna deserves it. We love Jandiroba. She's done nothing but make us money.
Nothing but print money for us.
Been great. Here's the thing, guys. This isn't a real title fight. I'll say it how it is. We talked earlier today about this. I'll say it how. This isn't a real title fight. Whaley left this division, and she left this division high and dry. So insert Virna Jandiroba and Mackenzie Dern. Andy, who does the UFC want to win?
See, here we go. We're going down the list of narratives, and Mr. Bubbles, you're going to absolutely hate us.
You're going to hate me for this.
You're going to absolutely hate us.
I'm sorry, but
for this. The UFC's biggest nightmare is Virna Jandiroba as the title holder.
And for shame, first of all, because Verna's awesome. We love Virna.
Yes. UFC and Dana White would love nothing more than to have that belt around Mackenzie Dern. I've already seen the photos and embedded just her in the bikini in the pool and her in the her photos during fight week. They're more like model shoots, not fight week. So you can just see where this is going. So to answer your question, they want Mackenzie Dern to win this.
They're dying for me. They
Praying.
are praying. After last week's atrocious Canada card, the fix is in. I believe that the fix is in again.
The fix is in.
I'm serious. I believe that the fix is in for this. If we get down to X's and O's, I went back and watched the first fight, and I believe that Mackenzie Dern is actually the one who's gotten better. Verna's always been great. I would say where Virna has improved would be her fitness. I believe her fitness is better, but it's still not elite. It's still not. She still slows down in the third. She gets hit in the third. And at her core, Virna is still a jiu-jitsu practitioner that wants jiu-jitsu, not a firefight. She doesn't want that. She'll do it. She'll fight through it. She's tough. But when you watch her get hit, the way that she reacts, she instantly goes to that wide stance and looks for a shot. And if it's not there, she covers up and go. I would say out of the two of them, both coming from the jiu-jitsu world, that Mackenzie has been the one that doesn't shy away from the firefight as much. That first fight was just wild. It was like two cats in the alley. That was a COVID days with no audience at the Apex. Different animal. I think Mackenzie wins and pulls away in rounds 5 and 4. I think she gets those last two, and she's going to eke this fight out. I don't see a finish. They're both so good. I don't think that Jandiroba is going to be able to hurt Mackenzie on the feet enough with the striking to get her out of there like Lemos did. And I don't believe that Mackenzie's going to submit Virna because Virna's just so good defensively on the ground. So good. Actually, it wasn't Lemos. Andrade, excuse me. I'm going to take Mackenzie, and I'm going to take Mackenzie by decision. You brought up a fantastic point about the crowd and where it's going to go.
Jandiroba's not just fighting Mackenzie Dern. Jandiroba's fighting the crowd who is going to be 100% rooting for Mackenzie Dern. And what that means is anytime Mackenzie does anything remotely that looks like a strike, the crowd is going to ooh and ah. If Mackenzie smiles, the crowd is going to ooh and ah. When Virna clinches, boo. When Virna takes Mackenzie Dern down, boo. When she holds her there, boo. And these are all things that affect the judges. You're also fighting the ref who is going to look for any reason to stand them up if Virna is controlling position. We have seen some hilarious stand-ups this year in UFC. Some that make no sense until you kind of look at some of the narratives and be like, oh, the guy got a takedown, and after 8 seconds they were like, stand up, because they want the striker to have a chance. Like, even though the striker's been getting mollywopped for 2.5 rounds, let's give the striker a chance to get the late KO, despite the fact that they've been getting killed. So Virna's going up against judges that are going to be swayed by the crowd's energy, and a ref who is not going to put up with Virna. Like, when Virna takes Dern down, you better be active. And I think that's going to just tire out Virna. I'm with you. Mackenzie Dern is chaos on the feet. It's just going to look like she's doing more, even though all she's doing is walking towards Virna and throwing like a windmill, as our good friend Corbin would say. And yeah, on the ground, it's not going to be impressive. Mackenzie Dern could Verna could have 4 minutes and 38 seconds of control time. Mackenzie Dern could land 2 shots at the end of the round, and the judges will probably give it to Mackenzie Dern. I just think this is so much of an uphill battle that Verna's either going to have to have a finish or absolutely dominate 3 rounds. And I mean dominate. Can't eat any punches. Has to be the super aggressive because they will look for any reason. It's
have to be back control for 4 minutes.
Yeah. Where Mackenzie can't do anything. Like, if Verna's on top and Mackenzie Dern is landing these little things from the bottom, those are going to be scored better on the judges' scorecards than any of those shots have ever been in the history of UFC. I'm with you. It's Mackenzie Dern for all of the narratives, despite the fact I think that if there were no narratives, Jandiroba would be the pick. But I just think there's just too much going in the camp, going in the corner of Mackenzie Dern. May seem like a weird breakdown, but
I think there's a reason why this was placed in Abu Dhabi, this fight. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, that's where shenanigans are allowed.
Yeah, this fight's not in Vegas for a reason.
They were like, hey, where can we put it to where weird shit happens that we can get away with this stuff? Let's do it in Brazil. Nah, Verna's from Brazil, you idiot. Oh, okay, Abu Dhabi. yes, call up our friends. Call Hamdi.
Love jiu-jitsu over there. Dern's a legend.
Yeah, call Hamdi and Al Sawadi. Tell them the boys are coming. So, all right, let's go into the main event. Tom Aspinall and Cyril Gane. I feel like everyone has the exact same breakdown. Tom Aspinall, nuke early if Cyril Gane extends. He's been a lot later into fights. You got to make your decision. Do you want Tom Aspinall early or do you want Cyril Gane late or by decision? I went back and forth, and I don't need to go over the X's and O's because everybody watching this knows the X and O's. Here's what I come down to. Every time it's time for Cyril Gane to be put on the big stage, he kind of shits the bed. And when I say kinda, I mean he shits the bed. This lost in Ngannou. He had that thing won and was like, I'll go for a knee bar. You get your chance against John Jones, I melt. He didn't win this fight against Volkov. I think we've gone over that one. I don't trust this guy to be the killer. I don't. And here was the other thing. I can't be the only one. I had this picture of Gane being massive, and he's a big guy. And then every time I'm like, wow, Volkov's taller than him. That's interesting. And then I went and looked. Aspinall's bigger. Aspinall weighed in 5 pounds heavier last time, and they have him listed as a little bit taller. I just have this picture of Gane being this gigantic, thing. He's big, but he's not that big for the division. And when I saw that, I was like, okay, so it's Aspinall. It's Aspinall early, take him in rounds 1 or 2. That's the vanilla pick from me. But when I'm looking at Gane and I'm thinking back, like, all right, John Jones, okay, all right, Ngannou, okay, all right, Volkov, he's terrible. All right, nope, not taking him against Aspinall. Not going to do it. I can't, so that's my pick. You?
What was the big red flag that we missed in the Volkov fight?
What do you mean?
Do you remember what we found out after?
No, what?
Because we had a bet on Gane.
Yeah, and we were like, holy shit, how did we win that? We lost. We should have lost that.
Look, we don't believe that Gane won. We were celebrating, right?
Oh,
so do you remember what the big red flag was that we missed?
Well, they had fought before. Wasn't there something about it? I can't remember.
Something outside of the cage.
Oh, no, I don't.
Stuff that nobody talks about. Gane just got done filming a movie.
Oh, that's right. It was movie Gane. That's right.
Guess
he was
what?
Filming a movie.
You start doing movies, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Ask our girl Dakota Ditcheva.
Right? You start filming movies, you start doing other shit besides fighting, I'm out. So we just got a lesson about last week about fighters that don't want to be fighters. They want to just win, right? Not to bring up a sore subject, but Mike Malott has a guy totally hurt. Has Kevin Holland to the point where the fight's going to stop. And Mike Malott decides to be the nice guy for 2 more rounds. Keep in mind, he almost lost that second round, by the way, as well, doing it.
Yeah.
I have never once seen Cyril Gane throw with a venom that other fighters throw with. Even in the knockout of Tuivasa, that was late. That was an accumulation of damage. Have you ever seen Cyril Gane?
So was Spivak.
Yeah. Have you ever seen Gane just bite down on the mouthpiece, like they said in Rocky, right? Show him how to snarl and hit. Have you ever seen Gane snarl and hit?
No.
You haven't, man. You haven't. It's just not in his blood. It's not in his DNA. It is the French savant striking style. Been over this 9 million times if you watch us. It's beautiful to watch. It's great for point fighting. It is not a vicious, venomous style. Tom is coming into this fight with a bit of a chip. What scares me is the layoff. We saw this with Michael Chandler. Bit of a different situation, older Chandler. But Chandler pissed away, 3 years of his career chasing Conor? Right?
But, talk about regrets. My God.
Yeah, major regrets. Didn't even get
talk about getting bad advice.
Tom spent 2 years chasing John Jones and getting jerked around by John Jones. So a little worried about that. Tip of the hat to Tom Aspinall at the pressers today. Did you see what he said?
Mm-mm.
So they're asking him how it's done. Tom, you've had a lot of finishes. He goes, no, you know what? We're going to change it up. I'm going to win by boring decision. We're going to win by split decision. I'm going to prove to everybody that I have cardio, and I'm going to win. And he said it with the straightest face. They kept asking him. He kept going, yep. They go, Gane thinks he can win a decision. He goes, yeah, samesies. Perfect. Good. We're going to go to decision. That's the plan. Well, I'm going to win a split decision and prove everybody wrong.
Win a split decision. Okay.
Tom Aspinall's going to fucking try to take Cyril Gane's head off. All right?
Agreed.
I don't think taking Cyril down and submitting him helps Tom in this situation. He will always be compared to John Jones because that fight has never happened. So everyone's like, oh, you take him down and finish him faster. I think it's more impressive if he knocks out Cyril Gane, don't you?
Yes, 100%. Yeah, knock his head off.
Tom is going to wear him out and punch his face through the canvas, whether it's on the ground or on the feet. I'm just worried about this layoff. Cyril Gane can be tricky to get to. If Tom comes out, like we know, fast and strong, he can melt Gane very early. I do believe Tom has the cardio to combat Gane because what have we seen from Cyril Gane to say that he has some kind of fantastic cardio? The guy doesn't throw anything. So
yeah,
when
he does, you're right. When he does go deep into fights, there's a lot of leaning on the fence.
Yeah, it's ugly. It's boring. I'm switching my tune. I said I wasn't betting this fight. I think I'm going to have to try to make money on Tom Aspinall some way, somehow. We've made money on every other Tom Aspinall fight except for the knee rupture against Blades. Yeah. So, give me Aspinall.
All right. Yeah, it's chalky vanilla pick, but whatever. Sometimes they win. All right, if you guys could hit the like button, leave us a comment. We're going to do the Parlay Buster. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. Tell us what you agree with, what you disagree with. Tell us what your best bet is for this card. I'll go first for Parlay Buster. Mm-hmm. I'm going Murzakanov as the Parlay Buster. I like Rakic by knockout when Murzakanov tires himself out trying to get the knockout. So not only will I say that Murzakanov loses, I think he gets finished. That's my Parlay Buster.
Okay. I'm going to go Walter Walker.
Oh, good one. Great one.
At this number of minus 400, it has to be parlayed, first of all.
True.
So that automatically enters it into the competition. And I just have real questions about Walker after round one. We still don't know. That's the meat and potatoes of it. It's an early fight on the card. People are most definitely going to try to find some way, somehow, to get on Walter Walker at a better number.
All right. Now we move finally to the woulda, coulda, shoulda. This is the play that we're going to say at the end of the night. It's like, man, why didn't we bet more money on? I was going to say we should change this to the Pergantino from Contender Series, but we did bet everything.
Yeah, we can't.
We didn't wish we had more money on him because we already had every penny, and then
still
some.
Don't think we had enough. We still didn't have enough. I could have been retired.
All right, where are you going with this one?
This is a tough one for me. I'm going to keep this real simple. When Umar wins a clear 30-27 at that number,
Minus
And
165.
you're going to tell me
by
I got
decision.
better than minus 200 on a Nurmagomedov by decision? When we just saw one go to decision the second time with Paul Hughes 2 weeks ago that never had a chance of finishing. Yeah, I'll hate myself in the morning.
I like that one. I think that's really good. I'm going to go with the under 2.5 on the Jacqueline Amorim fight. It's not going to be a fight that's on very many people's radar. The least amount of people are going to be watching it. It's at 10 a.m. And then you're going to watch Amorim take Inoue down and rip her arm or head off, and you're going to be going, do you believe we could have gotten Amorim to finish this lady when she's been finishing big time, not big time, but legit UFC? Good. That Polyana Viana fight, I mean, she beat the shit out of Polyana. And then
was
she
a
did
slam
it.
dunk.
Yeah. 4 straight finishes in a row with her only fight that wasn't a finish was a UFC debut against Sam Hughes. Can you think of worse debuts?
Well, keep in mind, too, she was beating this tar at a Hughes the first half of the fight.
Okay.
And just
yeah.
passed out as well. So
Yeah. I'm going to go the under in the women's fight. That's just kind of an under the radar one.
I like it.
Yeah, if you go back and watch Inoue, you're going, my God, not a lot of meat on the bone, literally and figuratively, for this one. So she gets it on the ground, could be over.
Before we go, I thought about this. I was waiting until we pulled the screen up. Did you notice what they did on this card with all these fights? What's the common theme? Almost every fight on this card, there's submission upside. Did you notice that?
Okay, Amorim, Maksum, handy, not
Forget about
really.
that one.
Wouldn't Delgado, I wouldn't
no.
say, but Walker,
Walker.
yes. Selwady,
Selwady.
yes. Klein, Rebecki, not really. Park can absolutely submit a tired Aliskerov.
Salkild's got great submissions.
Yeah, it probably not going to be a submission in this fight.
No.
Definitely Almeida and Volkov. Umar and Bautista, whatever. Definitely Jandiroba, Dern. Potentially an Aspinall Gane, but we expect violence. So it's interesting. Okay.
It's an interesting booking. I always feel like when they go to Abu Dhabi, they favor the grappling.
Interesting take. All right, guys, thanks for much joining us. Again, hit the like button. Really helps us out. Subscribe to the Winning in the Shadows YouTube channel. I will be live for Takedown Live. Jim may be in and out. Most likely out.
Come say hi.
Come say hi. We'll do live bets and predictions based on what we see on the fights. We'll be looking for Backney. It's going to be the big one, big one this fight. I see Backney. We're betting on that guy. So, all right, guys, have a great rest of your week. Thank you very much. Good luck on your bets. Take care.
Good luck, guys.